Campagnolo was established in 1933. And what put them on the map was the invention of the quick release, which you can still see on their logo to this day. That's how important it was to them and to cycling. For the longest time, they were the pinnacle of cool and innovation. And that was true until now. Cycling is an industry of constant innovation. And brands need to be relentless to keep up with these constant tides of change. And this is an example of what happens when brands do not prioritize this innovation. We're talking about the new Campy Ekar GT group set, which is Campy's response to a mid-level gravel group. These insights come to you from a former cycling product designer with over 20 years experience in the cycling industry. It's a 1x13 mechanical group set. And that brings us to how does it actually shift? I can't believe this. And this is not just the dork piece on my nose talking. It does not shift that great. What a bummer. It's just kind of slow on the draw. It kind of lags over. Sometimes it doesn't want to go into the gear. It's just like, seriously? I mean, don't get me wrong, it works. It just doesn't work really well. For example, on this bike, I rode SRAM Apex, which is their lower level mechanical. That works great. And then on this bike, I rode a lower level GRX, and that also works great. This one, on the other hand, is noticeably laggy and underperforming. What the heck? Okay, all right, I'm doing it. My executive producer is demanding that I tell you about subscribing to the channel. But I can't get behind it. This guy's complete lack of personal aesthetics in a social setting, and was that food on his face? If you're into those things, yeah, then feel free to subscribe. You'll be right at home. I personally like the shape of the hoods. They're different, they're ergo, they feel good in the hands, no problems there. When it comes time to actually shifting, there's some things you're gonna notice. When you wanna shift up, it's a traditional pedal like all the other brands. Swipe up, gears get higher. But when you wanna shift down for a tougher gear, there's this bizarre large fob thing. You can get it from the drops. It's a little weird. It kind of sticks out and it feels like it's from the 90s. Although the 90s are making a comeback, so maybe they're ahead of the curve. Weird. It's just odd, I don't know, like, does it need to have this extra thing? I feel like we're past the age of like extra blips. What do you think of that? What's your take? Oh my God! Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you, Gore Wear now has cargo bibs, finally. And it does fit a phone. They got pockets on either side. And the best part, they come in brown. Oh yeah. Woo! Okay, what else? Cranks are aluminum, which is supposed to help with price, which we'll talk about that in just a minute. It's hard to take my own self serious with this stupid thing. And a few people at the shop kind of complained about the aesthetics of the group, which I don't think it's completely disgusting, but this is funny to me. The derailleur's spring hook is just right there, and it just is very exposed. It kind of looks unfinished or broken, but that's just the way it is. I like this detail right here. Some of my friends are tripping on the fact that this valve stem is not in the middle of the spokes. It was driving them crazy. What do you think? And the brakes, they use mineral oil, so similar to Shimano. A little easier to work with at home, not quite as toxic as SRAM's dot fluid. Ugh. Okay, what is this bike? This is an Enve Mog. Their carbon fiber gravel ripper, set up with Campy Ekar GT, Campy alloy wheels, mounted up with Ultra Dynamico premium rubber. And I think one of my favorite parts is this Enve stem. That thing is beautiful. Oh, and this is here because when it was in the middle, my giant computer wouldn't fit on the mount. Innovative solutions right there. .com/ you need a solution. Hey Woody, you're a mechanic. Wait, how long have you been a mechanic?
God, 20...
For over 25 years. How is setting up Campy Ekar?
So I would say it's pretty normal for a mechanical setup. The only thing I would say is that, you know, sometimes the parts aren't as available for something if something goes wrong. The other thing too is it uses a specific free hub body on the wheel. It doesn't fit on a Shimano or a SRAM wheel. It's a Campy specific free hub body. So those are also not always super available at local shops.
Woody is a master mechanic, so what he says pulls a lot of weight. Something to consider. You're stepping into the exotic group. It's going to be an exotic journey to find parts. Not to mention, every step of this journey is going to cost you more than equivalent or better performing products. For example, SRAM Rival AXS, that's the wireless version, that comes in at $1,450 MSRP. Shimano GRX Di2, their electronic and half wireless system, comes in at $1,700 MSRP, placing the Ekar fully mechanical group at $1,875 MSRP. Okay, all hands on deck. Not to mention all the replaceable parts, brake pad, chains, eventual cassette. Those all cost 10 to 15% more than SRAM or Shimano. But don't get me wrong, this thing works. I just don't think the value is there to purchase it. It's fine. It's just not high end, but it's trying to be. Stop trying. Just be yourself. Oh God. This Enve Mog, on the other hand, this thing rules. And sometimes it actually does make sense to pay for a more expensive or exotic product. If the brand has enough appeal, draw, and just straight up cool factor, that makes sense. At one point, the Campy brand did have that pull. You'd want to stretch to get it. You didn't really care if it costs more. It was just that cool. But those days have passed. I just don't think that this group provides the value that this price and the extra effort to upkeep it are asking. But Campy, we haven't given up on you. We're pulling for you. We want you to be the cultural juggernaut you once were. Just get the mindset of the Delta brakes and go from there. I think kind of a gnarly route to test this thing on. Oh God. Ultimately, the decision is up to you. My goal is to just help inform that decision so that you have the best time on the bike with the best products possible. It's just that simple. Without fail, I'm out of water. I'm so fried. Based on my silly outfit, how far do you think I'm riding my bike today?
I have no idea.
Okay, you've gotten the info. What's your take? Which brand are you leaning towards for groups going forward? The wild world of cycling innovation, componentry,
and the ride by the numbers.
7 hours, 23 minutes rolling time, 117 miles, and 5,222 feet of elevation. And all of this reminds me of the time my buddy Drew and I swapped controls on our wireless shifting. My bike controlled his bike controlled my bike. And, well, to see how that one went, check out this guy right here. Yeah, well, that was a weird one.